Rejects on the 2 feet. Comes out with the victory royale.
He's gonna drop down.
Ooh.
Up and get him.
There we go. Huge from Big Boy, but it does look like it's going to be Farmer 48 Cool Cat that comes out with the win.
Redragon, Antec, and Crucial. But I'm not alone today, guys. As you can see, I am joined by Del Rey or Dulles. How you doing today, man?
It's a great Sunday. Been a great weekend for gaming and sports and everything. I can't wait for this duos to return and then to kick off.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a very spicy one. You know, we got 5 games and the total prize pool of 10,000 Rand in cash. Now, I'm going to hit the question out the bag over here, Del Rey, and I'm going to get straight into it. Who do you got your money on?
Well, if we're looking at informed players, we're definitely looking at Goliath Travis. He's been having an exceptional month of October. You know, he's winning a LAN and then winning yesterday as well. So this man has like the info. He's really good and the informed player for me. I'm looking at Rejects as well. His counterpart, I say counterpart. They're from the same organization, but I'm looking at him as well. Rejects and his duo Skara, very heavy in the W key range there. I think they're going to come out with quite a lot of elims. But if you want me to put my money where my mouth is, I'm going to have to go with Travis, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, informed player, and yeah, I just think he's going to come pull through today again.
Definitely. I am almost going to agree with you 100%. However, I am also looking at a Reap C10, and especially with, you know, recent incidents, which we won't not talk about. They have a lot to prove and a lot to work off. You know, they have that anger coming into ACGL to say, listen, this is my time to shine. And the Mythic Royale Finals is literally exactly that. But for those of you guys who are joining us from home, you know, watching us online, make sure to join in on the conversation, guys. Use hashtag Mythic Royale, and you know, let us know who you guys think will be walking away with the overall win. It is going to be an interesting 5 games, and you got new duos sort of coming into play, like you mentioned, Travis the Cove. You also got Woken Skara. I mean, you and I both know Skara from back in the days, you know, in his prime, and then he had to retire or take a step back from Fortnite, but it was a huge break. And he's making a comeback somewhat in competing again. I don't know. What do you have to say about Skara as an individual? Do you think and now was the right time? Do you think was there ever a right time for him to make a comeback?
Well, did I expect him to come back and get back onto winning ways? Yes. It hasn't happened yet, but I do feel like he's a true out gamer. He's done it in Call of Duty. He's been one of the top players in Call of Duty, and he's done it multiple times on Fortnite. Yes, he's going to come back, and he definitely wants to make a name yet again. I think with all these tier lists that everyone has been making, you know, his name isn't really up there like it used to be. But I feel like he's going to hit back, and he's got the best teammate now to maybe make that happen.
Definitely. I mean, you know, Rejects and Skara, they definitely will be working well together. If you all do remember the Stock Industries season, and by the way, it was a mythic drop. That's where the Mythic Royale actually came from. And during that Stock Industries season in the trios form, you know, Rejects, Woke, and Skara were just unstoppable. So they come together as a duo in this Mythic Royale. But another hot take of a conversation, and which we've been seeing on social media, is Neymar and Travis. You know, they're not together here. They haven't been together for the past couple of weeks now. But, I mean, like, what's your whole take on this situation with Neymar and Travis? Do you think maybe it was a little bit of a mistake coming in from Travis to replace Neymar to replace Travis?
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna definitely like stomp on people's toes here. But if you want my honest opinion, I'm feeling like Neymar might have been regretting it. To be honest, like dropping a player like the likes of Travis, IGL, and that's why I think Travis is one of those players that will outshine almost anyone just because of that IGL player that he is. And the same with Reepsy, right? IGL, he can win with anyone, and I feel like Travis can do that same thing. But we're actually dropping in now. We're on board with Chimp, one player that, has been, or people been talking about this player.
Yeah, but it does look, however, like Chimp is going to load into this one as a single individual. We love Fortnite when that happens, but this is a tough game to start on, and we're going to have to wait and see what this means for him going forward. But we got a good widespread of teams, a good distribution on POIs. It may be just that we are just seeing one individual from each team, and my bad to anyone who thought Chimp has a solo, and it does look like Jovi is going to be getting a couple shots here onto Shark, and we do get to see them being contested, not really, but from Coral Castle. And it's still surprising that, oh wait, Green gets taken down by B-Boy in the kill feed, and we get to see that confirmation come in right now. So Kareem already out and dusted out of lobby number 1. Still got his duo mate up in this one, so let's see what happens over there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Kareem, obviously, I don't think he had the best school cup if we're looking back at it, right? Kareem's definitely a top player. Let's not forget it, right? He's won multiple tournaments, and his money that he's won before, definitely puts him right at the top of whatever leaderboard people want to make. I just feel like he's at this stage a bit too inconsistent, considering he's a matric, he's got studies and everything, so maybe that makes sense. But I'm looking for him to hit back, and silence the people that maybe is doubting him.
Yeah, I mean, he needs a huge comeback here in the Mythic Royale, and hopefully we get to see that coming in from game number 2, or even if they get the reboot card and make the play for getting him back into the action for game number 1. So the story there is still not over, but we're on board, guys, with potential winners of the Mythic Royale, Reepsy and Tembrat. And now they come into the Mythic Royale duos, and a lot of people question Reepsy when he went in and picked up Tembrat, but for the most part, like you've mentioned, he is an IGL, is an intelligent gamer as it is, and his strategic gameplay gets to be seen a lot of the times in the end games as well. Those decisions he makes are so crucial, and he's a fantastic player when it comes down to that. We can, however, debate his mechanics when it comes to the game, but he's still a star of a player representing Punisher's Gaming in the finals over here.
If you're asking me what I'd rather want, okay mix and then a brain that outshines everyone, then I'm definitely going to go with that, and that's what Reepsy is. A perfect IGL, and like most people say, he can win with anyone, and that's exactly the point I would agree with. Having the brain and the brawns, like Reepsy does, it just makes everything so much easier.
Definitely. You got Odyssey, Strider, and then Spicy in a good location. Loadout not too amazing, however, only 3 minis, a great pump, and a green AR. And that's not going to be looking too good on him. Strider just trying to ease off the pressure from around these oppositions now here, but it is a good decision for them to start making rotations and go onto the loot pile quite earlier, because then they get a more desired loadout, and you can already see that coming to effect for them. A green pump and green AR onto Strider, his teammate over there, but they still have a lot to work with going around. And here at Corny Corpse, we got Buzzy and Luka Rakic. Now Luka Rakic recently, Daure, has been so confident in his gameplay. It's really ridiculous.
He has. He turned things around at School Cup yet again. We were mentioning it. Game 1, he won. Game 2, he came second. So the confidence is high. I think it might have taken a knock from yesterday, as he yet again is an FA looking for a trio or a duo even. So maybe that confidence took a bit of a bump, but he's in this game and he's playing with Buzzy. Maybe they can make things work, you never know, and this might be a perm trio.
Yeah, it could definitely be exactly that, and we get to see, you know, what the end games are going to be looking like for them, even when it comes down to mid games, because we both know Luca here, he's a controller player. Any player he sees, he does to just get hungry to get into the box over there. But he, you know, he is smart when it comes down to end games sometimes, just these huge pop-off moments. Hopefully we get to see that side of Luca, the confidence Rakic that we so love to come to know. But now, you know, we're going into where the zone is about to shrink in just about 3 minutes. We will get a full shrinkage, and we got the 61 players, 31 duos. Things are still very early to start, you know, dictating what will be happening. But you see the Pop Cool, the likes of Swish, you know, with 1 elimination and so forth. So the action is present for some of these guys, and a couple tags are ready for, you know, potential maybe even 5th Storm Surge.
Could be, definitely. I feel like it might just happen, considering we've played, I can't even remember when last we've played a duo cup or a duo tournament. It was quite a while ago, and I think these players has been so tuned in to trios or solos that, you know, it's a different ball game when it comes to duos, and you're gonna have to think differently, because if you die, you're leaving one player left to clutch up, and that is going to put a lot of stress on that player, and he might make a mistake, and, you know, things might not happen. But we can see Ace and Chimp here again running through things. They not all shield up as they try and find as much as they can. I think they were in a fight and backing off, so they're gonna keep on grinding, keep on you know, playing. They will definitely place up there. The big question is, does Ace keep up with Chimp is the question.
Now, I saw him, you know, Ace play with Swizzy a lot more. And to be honest, I'm not hurting anyone here, but I did see Swizzy work a lot more than Ace, especially when it came to the end games. We did see Swizzy, you know, rotate into these certain tough situations as a solo, because Ace had managed to, you know, get eliminated in the game and so forth. So, you know, with a player like Chimp, who's really fast-paced, I don't know if you've seen his gameplay, but Chimp is so mechanically gifted, and when it comes to the game, he's a really talented player. I feel he's maybe too fast for Ace and won't be able to keep up with the rotations, the box fights, and, you know, the decision making that doesn't even need comms. That chemistry is definitely not present in that team, if you mind me, because I mean, Chimp and Ace never really played together, so I'm curious, you know, maybe it's just 2 duos getting together just to play the Mythic Royale Finals. But maybe they get that one-hit wonder that we always find with the new teams that come together.
Yeah, they call about that honeymoon period, right? And maybe some of these teams do get it and count in their favor. So we can see some kills going down yet again in the kill feed. I'm looking at the names at the left. Remember, maybe we can drop onto Woke. I see his name. Was there somewhere? Woke. Yeah, Woke or Nay or Woke.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see exactly where they're situated and how the rotations are going to be for the team over there. But still, very much sweaty, very much quite difficult for some of these guys. You know, Chimp and Ace, they've taken up quite the damage. No blue heals at all, so they're going to go into this mid-game, end-game with literally nothing to kill off, and hopefully just a couple of siphons to work with.
Yeah, maybe a couple of siphons only. That loadout doesn't look too good, but there we can see with Neymar as we jump on board with them again. 0 kills just yet, but they're getting into a fight and they're looking to get their first elims in this tournament.
Yeah, and for the most part, it does really look well for the team. You know, they've managed to get on height on the build battle, and we can see Neymar and Woke working together quite well. This is where, you know, for Neymar as well, it is almost a comeback story, a hit back to all the hate that has been happening on social media with, you know, how his new team has been performing. But now Neymar and Woke here in the Mythic Royale Finals can exactly do that hit back. with a win on the overall day. We can see a little chop come in from Neymar just to control things and get the team into a tough situation. A little pinch here for the opposition's Delray.
Definitely, and I feel like this is going to set the tone for Neymar and Woke. If they can get this Elam and move on, you know, confidence is going to start building and they're going to play better. But that peanut butter from Woke on Havoc, nonetheless, what a great shot coming in from him. But he's fighting yet again, but it's Neymar that comes up and helps him. And there we say goodbye to Havoc and Lex. A great fight coming in from Neymar and his duo Woke.
Oh, fantastic. You love to see it. Picking up those kill points means that they're happy going into the end games. They can continue working on this energy and confidence that they have with the kills. And then you got Storm and Energy. Ooh, okay, so Storm actually filling here for Energy, which is going to be an interesting aspect going into this. We also know Storm, you know, being a fantastic player, an IGL as well for the team that he has. Let's see exactly what happens with, you know, what the two teams can do, the two players that we have on board over here. Energy is definitely excited to be playing this one here with Storm.
100% Storm filling in for someone as well. So he's just playing with Energy. It's a weird team yet again, but like we said, a lot of teams onto perm duos yet, or just yet. We haven't had a duo tournament for quite a while, so some people just playing with whoever they can find. But these guys did qualify, and here they are today, and hopefully they can place well and take home some cash.
Yeah, definitely, hopefully, and it is that 10,000 big prize pool that will be going over to the duos. It is shared amongst the top, so yeah, let's see exactly who the top will be. And you can see a couple guys throwing petrol canisters, but maybe Storm will take advantage of this and send them back to the base for a little bit of an explosion to now get a crazy play. Nothing really dramatic happening just yet, and they're going to focus on the rotations rather than disengage from this fight. But a little tag here for Storm means now that he needs to box up next to the oppositions, and hopefully no focus will be coming in from the community.
Yeah, they already Storm already has 2 eliminations as a squad, so they can basically just play it a bit slower, you know, don't take any too unnecessary risks and just keep on going. But like I know Storm is a very aggressive IGL, so I don't think he's really the one to back out of any fight.
Definitely. Well, we're gonna have to wait and see what this means now, because they move out from the little bush of safe haven to the next Storm location or safe zone location here, and we are down to 56 players. So some passive gameplay we are witnessing from people in the game over here. Popku and Get Swish, you know, it's also 2 eliminations for them, and they looking really well when it comes down to the loadout. 2 big pots, 5 minis, you know, blue pump, a launch pad as well on Swish, so that's going to be really good for them. I'm not entirely sure if they both have launch pads over here, but if they do, that is going to be really good when it comes down to the moving zones. Those 2 launch pads, you know, first move in a second, or even if they don't make the first 50-50 with this stacked lobby that we do currently have, they're going to need to make it a launch pad into the first 50-50 zone.
They definitely must, and the question is, will they? But we can see Popcool is getting shot by so many bullets raining down on him as he opens up, and he's going to try and find some himself. We know how good this guy is with that AR in hand. Sometimes he just runs double AR because, you know, the controller player is crazy. The aim assist helps so much. So we'll see what they do. It is Popcool and Swish, I think it is, as they rotate now and trying to get into zone. Zone is going to be closing down in about 5 seconds. But again, they're not too bad. They got 2 kills as the Storm and his duo. So I think things are going to be quite close at the top. If we can maybe swap on to Spooky, as I can see Spooky finding a couple kills there on the kill feed as well.
Yeah. Look now at this safe zone. You got so many people up on the west side of the safe zone. So that's going to be highly congested for the teams, that's all on the east side. They're very much happy on that. They don't really get server focused or too focused when coming into the zone. So let's see what happens. But nice to see Spooky and CK working well together, the duo that also just brought up now. But no, look at the kill feed.
Yeah.
And Woe could have taken out Popcorn and Swish. So we talked about them, getting into the end games, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening as we have a really aggressive Neymar and Woke today.
Yeah, well, they've got a point to prove, right? And we know they're not going to back down. Neymar's one, or still arguably the best player in South Africa. So he's still going to go on, and he's got Woke to back up. And we clearly saw with Woke's 200 to the head peanut butter earlier that he's dialed in, and they are ready to hit back and win this tournament. And we did say now goodbye to Popcool and his duo. But again, great plays coming in from Ney and his duo on board with, was it Travis? Yeah, where we go. Travis and Dekov, another duo that we spoke about, but they only got one elim so far.
Yeah, they just managed to secure this elimination right now. I was looking at the kill feed and we did see Dekov picking it up, and that is going to be really good. And they are on the dead side of the zone, but if you look at that map, they got a couple duos in their way to make that rotation now. And for the most part, I feel like they will be able to do so successfully. And we are reaching this final moment where now things get really serious and we get to start, the auction over here on the gameplay.
I love this stage of the game, right? Everyone gets closer to one another, more fights happening. It's so chaotic. I love it. So the more shots can go rain down will be better for us, just to, as viewers and casters. It's always great to see the fights come in. As we can see, a Spooky raining down some bullets on some players down there. He's playing with like CK. As they find that, or they get a knock on Eva.
That looks really good. They've managed now to pick themselves more eliminations, and this is a siphon from refresh mats coming into play as well over here. But now a little bit of a focus coming in from other oppositions, but for the most part, that expansion from Spooky is looking well off, and they can continue to be safe. You can see he's using all of the mats due to getting that huge elimination in the end game.
Yeah, we've got about 50 seconds. The zone's already pulling in closer. I just want to see where the moving zone goes from there on out, as it's going to be very important for how people set themselves up. As Energy finds another kill, or just a down, I think that was. So they're going to try and clean that up, and it will be Energy and Storm racking up some more eliminations.
Yeah, amazing stuff over here. We got also Nyclo and Stale, and it's good to see Nyclo back in the competition, taking a huge break, going to Portugal. He's now back in Mozambique, competing in the Mythic Royale Finals over here, and we get to see the team, Nyclo and Stale back at it. This team has been successful in the past in some ways, form or matter, but now if you look at that kill feed, Travis picking up 2 eliminations, and they're sitting quite comfortably, as well as Storm killing 21 Vague over there. So big elimination, and that kill feed is just looking saucy as Luka Rakic as well manages to pick himself an elimination here in the end game. But it does look like we are going to be seeing Nyclo and Esteo on the heighted positions for the 50-50 zone. For this, I hope they get their first moving zone, because then things start to look different on that leaderboard, because height almost means automatic victory royale. I mean, there's no ways you don't win a game when on height.
Indeed, right, unless you miss those shots. But we know they'll get contested at the top. We know Travis loves height, and so does Neymar, so they might be pushing for those. But again, we saw that kill feed just light up with all the big names, all the names we know can make a difference. So if they're going to keep on going, this is going to be a very, very stacked end game. With all the top players still in it. As we can see, Broken Jared, he's just stopping, making sure he can get the rotation over, but they are already set and ready as they're beaming some players down, but no tags found just yet, and I feel like they're safe for now. If you can maybe jump onto Travis, I know he has a couple eliminations already in his pocket. That is Travis and Dekov. There we go, and we can see. There we go. Travis again finding a kill on Tim.
Oh, so now Reepsy and Timberat are going to be shaken up quite a bit, because that is an interesting take over there, you know, for Reepsy. He has done a lot of work for the team. You also do have, you know, Woke and Nemo actually on the heighter positions, and this is going to be really nice for the team, managing to pick this one up for themselves. But low ground warriors, I feel in this one is going to beat the Cover and Travis. You know, that's their gameplay and a mindset going into the competition, is to control the low ground. Marcy making the rotations as a solo, this is not going to be too well for them. You know, he's going to need to work off the placements, and we only have 20 duos still remaining in this one. So it's a far away place, you know, for to be happy getting eliminated right now. You got to still work your way through what is going to be dramatic rotations with these teams. Now we see Smiling as well as Jared just trying to make the rotation over here. They use and hog onto an opposition launch pad, and a little bit of a storm surge warning, which we did mention at the beginning of the game, because we are seeing this passive gameplays come and erect over here. And Jared, he doesn't care who's he jumping on. He goes straight for the high, but no, it does look like it's a tough position for him, as he is taking quite the damage, as well as Smiling, as now Smiling gets taken down as well, and he's out of this one. It's going to be Jared with literally a smither of HP making the rotations, but he's finding this time to heal up. He's got those heals in the back pocket, so this is going to be really good for him.
It is gonna, you know, he's the last one alive for his teammates. But if you did see that kill feed, it was lighting up. The likes of Woke has fallen, Reeps has fallen as well. Storm finds another one on Spooky. Ace has now fallen as well. But it is Warrior and his duo going through the everyone's builds, I think. Jump finds another kill, and this is going crazy now, as we're on board with Saints IGL. So clearly he's the IGL for his team. They're topping in. They want to make sure they're in the best possible position to rain down some bullets and maybe find a pick or two.
Yeah, hopefully they do so indeed. We also got Latte and Steri who are making the rotations, and for the most part they look happy with what mats they have. They don't need no refresh or put themselves into a tough position where they need to now 50-50 in a box fight on the rotation as well. But really good topping out here from Steri. They get into a good position, clear anything that could potentially bring them harm, but now they shoot at enemies and they drop down to a good level over here, and Steri and Latte looking quite happy with the safe haven of top that has been built here by Latte.
Yeah, great decision to maybe drop down there and keep on working on your own level. You most of the time would want your own level to work with. As Chimp takes out Ginger, Warrior finds Travis. Travis has now been taken out. Storm finds another one on Zacky's, as we can see a Storm just holding the wall. Him and his duo Energy making some great plays. 7 elims for Storm alone, 2 for Energy. This duo is lighting things up, as you can see. Storm just running the way there for Energy, making sure no one is in the path. But again, from this duo, a great play so far.
Great play indeed. We just love to see a little pop off here coming from Storm and a pickup onto the Cov. So that team from the Cov and Travis are now out of this one. He finds himself in another fight, but it's that SMG onto Steri and Latte. Now they get into the end games, but now Storm needs to heal up quite a bit. He is quite low. He's managing to pick himself a couple minis, so he's going to continue rotating. Just look at how much mats he has as well. You got Marcy, who's still a solo. A little bit of a rat play from him, but he's managed to pull through with little HP. But no, on the low grounds, it's Saints IGL 7. He's picked that one up, and still on height is Nightclaw and Stale, and they're just railing in the ammunition onto the opposition. So you just love to see the scenes that is set over here, Dalray.
It's 3 teams left, 6 players left. Make that 2 teams. Looks like a 2v2 at this current stage. As Stale and Nightclaw is still raining from above. No one's right above them. Feel like Storm is being taken out there. Energy is still alive at the bottom. So it is going to be Energy's duo and the one of Stale, I think it was. As they keep on going it's going to keep on closing down and closing down. Oh, it was, yeah, Stale and Nightclaw. They're still on top, and Iro, they must be winning this.
They may potentially win this, but if they don't find Smech right here, it could be, you know, a tough predicament. But look at Smech XP. He's not looking too well on this one, trying to stay in a safe zone over here, but a good pump from Nightglow. And they walk away with that victory royale and 5 eliminations. We did mention, you know, if they're going to be finding themselves on height, they'll definitely be in a good position. And you can see the most eliminations coming in right now, guys. It's going to be WRG Storm, and the longest elimination from Popcool, 153 meters. Talk about a fantastic way here, Dare, that these teams have sort of worked their way towards the end. And, you know, a lot of people didn't put any money onto Nightclone and Stale, but they are a good duo, and they've just shown exactly that by winning game number 1. The likes of the Cuff and Travis, they got taken out quite early, as well as Neymon Woke. So it was really interesting game number 1.
Yeah. No, they played it technically correct, and they always had the height and made sure of it. And both players were still alive at the end, facing only one guy. So GG's to Nightclo and his duo there, as they take game number 1. And like you said, WRG Storm finding 9 eliminations, the most in the game, and then you know, put a cherry on top for Popcool, obviously one of those controller players with a very, very long shot as he takes down one player. But that was it for game 1.
That was it. But guys, we still got 4 more games in the Mythic Royale over here, so make sure you guys don't go anywhere. Remember to also leave a like if you do enjoy game number 1, but we'll be right back while we set up game number 2.
5. It's Rejix that comes out on top. Rejix with the 2 piece comes out with the victory royale.
He's gonna drop down.
Ooh.
Up and get him.
Here we go. Huge from Big Boy, but it does look like it's going to be Farmer 48 Cool Cat that comes out with the win.
Set the story of what to expect on the action for game number 2, 3, and 4, 5.
It is indeed, and the only reason why I think Storm and Energy is up there is because of those eliminations, right?
Yeah.
13 eliminations. I think the closest I looked down here was about 5. I don't see people more than 5, so they got 13. They went rampage throughout that lobby. And then we have the likes of Travis and his duo in 7th place. But again, if we're looking at, I see a couple of questions, is how much these people will be walking away with is 10,000 Rand. It's 4K, 4,000 Rand for first place, 2,000 Rand for second. Third place gets $1,500. Fourth gets 1,000. And fifth, 600, 400. So all the way to 8th place, people are getting money.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, I mean, you want to play passive, but I believe we're going to be jumping into the game very soon. Any predictions on the victory royale for this one over here, Darren?
Well, I don't think Storm and them would win this. They're going the aggressive route, right? So they trying to get as much elims as possible. Maybe I'm looking at Neighbor on them, right? They did play a bit more aggressive, but I feel like they was conservative as well. Maybe they go all the way to the end now, but firmly the confidence and everything on Nightlo and Stale's side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see how consistent the team can be in this first place position. I mean, with Storm Testros, a confident boost that we are seeing as well out from him, it looks like, it's going to be a close tournament. I mean, yes, we can see a consistent gameplay from Stale and Nightlo, but that elimination count needs to also pick up. So you can't rely on just passiveness and grabbing height and grabbing victory royales and so forth, because if some Testros is just as hungry as he was game number 1, then we are going to be seeing a whole a different leaderboard going into the final game number 5.
Again, it's Energy and Storm as they're going to start looting up and finding. Oh, look at Storm's shotgun already there, right? He's loaded up. So a great start coming in from them as Reem. I don't even know, but he gets a kill. So good start for them as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what will be happening now with the players on board. But we haven't really seen anyone besides Bpop be taken out. And it does look like that could be potentially at Steamy Stacks. I'm not sure. But yeah, we also got Ginger and Crispy. That team is also amazing. They've really shown a lot of talent for themselves across the couple of months and so forth. But yeah, we also then have Popcool and Switch, who did extremely well towards the end, but unfortunately had to find on the rotation Neymar and Woke. And looking at that leaderboard as well for Neymar and Woke, they did quite well, but they can pick up their socks going into the second game over here. Only 22 points, 5 eliminations though, so they picked up quite the bag of eliminations for themselves. What's nice about Steamy Stacks is the surroundings that we have over there. You get full map. Everything is there for you now, whether it's brick, wood, or metal.
Indeed, so as you can see now with Rejects just loading things up, he's got those chilies, he spots some minis as he's stacking them up as well. So this is another duo that I think will go all the way and maybe contest for winning this tournament. But again, as we mentioned with Crispy and Ginger, not really a duo that we've spoken too much about as of late, but I feel like that duo also a very good chance on winning this whole thing. And if we just look back, Iro, we look back at how things started with Fortnite, we maybe had 1, 2, or 3 teams that kept constantly winning, where now we can maybe pick 10, 15 people that can walk away with a dub.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be interesting, but now I'll get to that topic. But Spicy finding himself in a tough position against Saints IGL, and Saints IGL was the guy who came in second. So, you know, they looking really well, and a good beam onto Strider. Strider just trying to use his last mini in hopes that he doesn't give anything to the opposition, but it's going to be SKQ as well as Saints IGL with those 2 eliminations. For the time being, these 2 underrated new bloods, you know, we've seen them in the community from time to time, but for an underrated team walking into the Mythic Royale, they're looking really solid. They're looking like they could be potential top 8 even winners on that prize pool.
Yeah, easier kills they could not get. Beaming the players down is, again, with Ace and Chimp here. Like I mentioned, one of those players and duos that can maybe win this whole thing. So I'm looking at them, how they play, and who's scoring the shots even in this duo.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see, you know, who, like maybe when we see endgame, how those rotations are looking and so forth, then we'll be able to see really who's the IGL on the decision making to top and so forth. But we got Ace and Chimp. Let's see what happens over here.
Yeah, and I don't know who they're fighting, but they just walling off as much as they can as they try and break in. Chimp from one side and Ace from the other, as Chimp finds a couple tags, but the player already just threw down his splash, his chugs, so making sure that he doesn't get W keyed again. But again, this team isn't going to stop. They're going to look for this elimination. If they find it, they're going to be set, but I still have no idea who they're fighting.
Yeah, man. I mean, here it is, you know, at the Craggy Cliffs, the home for Ace. Been landing here for a very long time. So if you're coming in and trespassing a home, you will get eliminated regardless. And I feel like, you know, he knows exactly the best angles, the best drop, the best loot, how to get in. And if you already look at it, I mean, a gold star for Chimp, he's looking really solid. The RNG is on the team. A player trying to go in for the risky 50 over there, and Chimp managing to get a secure pump as well as a 38. Of then Ace is looking at maybe getting another POV onto the players so that they can continue dealing the damage over here. But for a good shot onto Ace, he's managed to not get that in favor of him. It's just now the single player, and we got Savad who's in this one, and unfortunately it doesn't look too well for him and his team, as one has been taken down, and now Chimp and Ace have the advantage. Chimp needs to sit back a little bit with that HP at hand. He needs to heal up.
Yeah, heal up he does, and now they're going to push for that last player, making sure he gets eliminated as well. And what a good call from them as well, right? Making sure both players is ready and fighting to get this last player. You see now Ace breaking in, shooting through, and oh no, but Chimp actually goes down to Card. Is he going to clean up? And Ace is there to clean things up, and he picks up his teammate. So that is 2 eliminations on the board already there for Chimp and his duo Ace.
Oh, it makes sense, you know, Savad, Davs, it kind of makes sense. I didn't really pick it up over there, but Card and Davs out of this one so early, you know, potential winners as well in this one. If you guys don't remember, but in the local duo Fortnite tournaments that we have in South Africa, they came out with a win, you know, so walking into this one, surely they could have continued their consistency and gameplay. On the other hand, we got the Lex and Havocs who were taken out by Travis and the cover, if I'm not mistaken. No, it was Neymar and Woke. It was Neymar and Woke who took them out in a box fight situation. But you got now the Lex, who by all means is such a good fighter, as well as Havocs. I mean, Havocs at one point was possibly, arguably, the best mechanic fighter when it came to the end game. Him and CK together, or just separately, were just such good fighters when it came to the box fight situations. Speaking of CK, we got CK over here with a spaz at hand, 3 big pots, 4 chugs, as well as a potential launch pad in the back pocket. Max are looking decent, he's got 103. He can farm up 47 more to be max over here, but he's in a good position. He is on heal. He's also got a rotation out of this one with these Lamborghini, so let's see exactly what will be happening.
Yeah, they're sitting good, right? They have no worries. They don't look like they want a W key or try and find kills at all. So they're just going to wait for the last zone, or maybe the second last, maybe, to try and get a couple kills. But again, if we're looking at how you get points, this is quite heavy placement, right? So players are going to play way more placement. Well, if you're not Storm, right? Because he just wants elims, but most people will play those placements and trying to rack up as much as they can. And that's exactly what CK and Spooky is going to do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Spooky is a very slow player. We always see him only towards the end of the game start to pick up his weight and so forth. But he is a very slow passive player when it comes down to these mid-game areas. And if you look at the map of zone right now, they're still in zone. They can choose to rotate to the center right now if they need to. It's very uncontested in that area. So let's see what happens over there. But we're looking to kill feed. Viva, content creator, manages to pick up an elimination, and then unfortunately Marker turns and trades that one onto him. So Viva could potentially be out of this one over here. But if you look now onto Gaza Panda, he manages to find himself some chili chugs, a very OP item. And for those of you guys joining us who's not really familiar with Fortnite, you get these chili chugs in a llama, and what it really does essentially is heal you up, at the same time give you double movement speed when it comes to the rotation.
Yeah, very OP thing to have in hand, right? And we spoke a couple of times about what's OP and what is not, and I'm just happy we don't have those parasites running around, right? I don't want those things near any games. They're as toxic as mechs back in the day, but these silly chugs are way better. I love to see people use them, make rotation even easier, as you have those double speeds as you mentioned. And that's exactly what Panda and Vets are going to do here. Rotate over and maybe get on the top of this hill and maybe just box up and take the fight to the players later on.
Yeah, definitely. Like, a lot of these players are opting in for that passive gameplay because it's still very early here in the Mythic Royale. You only just had wrapped up game number 1. Now we're in game number 2, so the potential of still winning the entire tournament is open to anyone. If they manage to secure some really consistent games, whether it's top 5 from here onwards, at least you're working towards that prize pool. So all of these guys are in game number 2 are going to be very much passive. They're going to be very slow. Here's Rejects and Skara, a team we didn't really get to see last time around. Unfortunately, missing the game queue, but they're here now to make some noise and hopefully a comeback in points. He's going to get tagged up drastically and hopefully doesn't get focused on that rotation over there because only 128 HP to fly with around. The Skara as well, 169. They're going to be situating themselves in a good position anytime now, and they will be able to kill up. So that is some good news. It does look like for the team, Woke and Skara, they are Rejects and Skara. They go all the way to the very edge of zone on the white line, and they will keep on that rotation over there. Very odd to see from such a huge W key team players that we have right here. Skara and Rejects, they meta was to really run over the entire lobby, fight whoever they can. But this is something we didn't really talk completely about, but you mentioned it earlier in game number 2. We got now, before, potential one team walking away to win consistently, but now there's 8 to 10 teams that could win the competition. So the skill gap is no more the same. It can't be the same as when Skara was around with Rejects, and you got so many good more players in the community that can hold their own weight. And looking at it, game number 1, Saints IGL coming in second place. So for just that matter, anyone you go up against is going to be a risk of 50-50. And when it comes to such early gambles, like I mentioned, game number 2, we can't really be doing such.
Yeah, and I feel like that is where Rejects and Scurra had to adapt, right, and change their things, because back in the day it's not the same where they W keyed everyone. Now if you're going to try that, you might run into maybe a Neymar or Storm or a Reepsy, and you get taken out, and that's your game. So you're going to have to play it a bit more safe. Don't go for all the elims, as Havix and Lex gets absolutely beamed from the left-hand side, but not really any damage being taken. Now they do from the side, as they're still rotating in. They just want to get in and then box up and heal up. But this is not a good look for Havix just yet, as he does pop, I think, some of those chugs. And they actually contested left, right, and center.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it does look like they're going to now find themselves boxed up on some oppositions over here, so they finally make it to their destination, and they look well off for the meantime over there, forming up just a little bit over there. His mat count is very good, got 190 wood, 360 brick, as well as 122 metal on Havix over here, and he just wants to try get a pre-fire on his pump, trying to hold it in just to see exactly whether or not he's able to do so. But it does look like for the meantime they are going up against some decent players over here. Hopefully we get to see exactly who they going up against.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see with Havix and Lexia, they only got 1 elimination. So either the one was taken away from them, or they decided to maybe pull out and not go for that. So they're only sitting on 1 elimination, and they're taking another fight here. And if they're gonna be taken out, then they really not set for a good tournament. Obviously there's still 3 games to go after this, so you can still make things happen. As you can see just above your minimap, this is round 2 out of 5, so things can still drastically change. But Havix and Lex, they're gonna have to find this fight, or find these players, get the elims, and then set themselves. Because if they don't, they're not looking good for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they did get taken out quite early, and they need to play this one right and hopefully not make too much noise around them, because if they do get a lobby focus, it'll be tough. But what a smack in the face with the pump onto Havix. And now this also now becomes the question of using your utilities so early on, as well as their mats and so forth, trying to hold, trying to take. It's not really looking too well for them if they don't come through with eliminating this team, and they need to do so very quickly because they're taking the damage and they're using their mats.
Well, here comes the question now. Do you just back out and say, listen, we've spent so much, or we invested so much, let's just back out and set ourselves? Or Iro, do you keep on going and just say, listen, we've almost put everything into this, let's just clean it up?
Honestly, at this point, you have to put a cleaning service into play. You got to grab your broom, you got to grab your mop, because they went in with the question of we can kill this team and get some mats, and they're looking potentially looking at what they have right here, and it's not really good for them. But look who's around the area as well. To the left side of Havix is going to be Neymar and Woke. They're looking really good. So hopefully for the most part, Havix and Delex managed to come through with some eliminations of their own. Hershey, all the way from Kenya, manages to pick up some elimination onto Vex. He gets that confirmation as well, so that's looking good for Hershey and Zaki.
Indeed. So with Nays, we stay on board with him at the bottom there. We saw so many people around him, so that rotation is going to have to come in, and you can see Lex and Havix is in the same position. Look at all those people on your mini map, and all of them need to make this rotation. When are they going to make it? It's going to be early, is it going to be late? Are they going to try and use other people's jump pads? As you can see, one already going, and this is probably going to give Lex and Havix the timing to maybe go and steal that away.
Oh, now Havix down to literally a smither of HP, trying to box up in hard mats, and the zone is shrinking though. They're using all their utilities, and now they need to make a launch pad of their own. I do believe they have their own launch pad, so they're able to do so now. Hopefully, not a late rotation for them and they don't get focused. Does look like for the meantime, they are going to be safe and sound. They land, but they don't really land together as well. And now we're getting into the end game, guys, where we have 56 players, and we went into this one with 69. So only 14 players have been eliminated. Bebop trying to take a launch pad as well to disengage from that one, as he did see Marcy be taken out of the game, and just see the roles from the two players get the change drastically. On the other hand, you got Woke and Neymar, who are server focused by the seams of it, and it does look like they've lost a chunk of HP, but now they'll be able to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, breathe they will, but you can see just above the rounds there, the damage threshold, I think they might just be below. I'm not sure. As you can see, still no elimination, so they're playing a heavy placement at the moment, but still being tagged up. Neymar is now being downed, and it's all up to Woke, and Woke alone to do this thing solo.
Yeah, and if you look at that, everyone wants to get those kills because that surge is active. You know, you got some damage over here that needs to be done. So for the players, they're hungry and they see an opportunity. A solo player in just hiding about, but does look like he's now finally finding himself some cover. Jovi, on the other hand, he's getting tagged up. He needs a couple damages right now. He's going to be using his medkit as well, but there isn't any time. It's a 5-second per tick, and hopefully we don't see out. Definitely Jovi will be taken out of this one over there.
Yeah.
We see him get eliminated. Fake as well will just manage to secure that for himself. Only one player now needs to be eliminated here onto Fake, and hopefully they get out of this one. But it's still ticking for the time being. If you look, there's still 51 players alive, so nope, it doesn't look too well for the team.
But this is crazy stacked, and it's great to see as more shots is raining down. People want to just be inside that threshold, making sure you don't get beamed down with some lightning there. As Seri finds a kill on Crispy, the cover as well. Tem now cleans up Crispy, so Crispy is out of this by Tem Barat, and all the kills are starting to fall. But it is Skyro, and I think it is Saints just chilling out and making sure no one really presses into their box.
Yeah, hopefully nobody does indeed, because you know they need to get that placement points, and we see that kill feed. Reepsy managing to pick up an elimination onto Woke. A little clap back of there for the viewers who know exactly what we're talking about. But now we're looking at Race and Antec over there. They look really solid as well. Having still very much aggressive, but they're starting to pay off, as now they got 2 eliminations and they are picking up the weight for the most time being. Seeing that they did make a mistake in game number 1.
Yeah, indeed. They did make a mistake, but they keep on going. I actually want to see if Kareem is still up and going. He's one of the players that we spoke about. BVD Kareem, no idea if he's still in this game, because he is one of those players that can pop off at any time.
Yeah,
I don't really see his name.
No, that's him. This is him. This is Kareem right here. And he's going to go on for a crazy high play. Will he be able to get some elimination? He is going to be ramped up, but no, he's going back for it. He does not want to give it up. And it does look like it's a call for the opposition to disengage from this one, as a little bit of a server focus from down below will be happening. Jamie as well, still very much in this one, and it's good to see Nitro's younger brother in this one over here. Jamie as well from Mozambique, dueling up with Kareem. Kareem has always put on a show here for us, guys. If you guys are Mythic Royale OG fans, you would know the Kareem bounce, you would know the Kareem effect. All these things have been happening here, guys, in the Mythic Royale. And to see Kareem yet again, for another successful finals, we'll be able to see hopefully a pop-off coming into play from them. But now Surge is active yet again with only 3 players needing to die. I don't see this one going on for too long out of this one, but it does look like for the meantime he's almost able to pick up an elimination, but the enemy just slithers his way away from this one.
Yeah, crazy scenes about to bro. As if you didn't see, it was Travis that and his duo got eliminated, so they're not in this anymore, unfortunately. But Popcool is still going, as you can see. But this team has to keep on going of Zorro and his duo. They keep on going through. It's Psycho that gets taken out. Reepsy is still in this game, and if I know him, he's right at the top. But here's Storm again. This time a different picture. They only have one elimination.
Ooh, definitely things have changed. Maybe, you know, a bit of a tough rotation for themselves, but they still in this one. They are full duo, so they are definitely keeping consistent. Gloves, on the other hand, as well, here in the top 4 place positions. He's also showing up to the party with some eliminations. Hopefully we get to see that. Ginger as a solo, he's trying to get a huge pump, but unfortunately he's gonna scuff that one. Antec taking out Rejects, Spooky taking out Havocs, and we're getting these confirmations in. We are seeing Latte yet again in the endgame scenes. What a amazing play coming in from the teams that are here. Energy picking up a kill onto Skara. So Rejects and Skara out of this one, and you can just see exactly what the scenes are looking like for him. He now needs to rotate, but look what he has in his back pocket. It's a Ghost Baz. Hopefully he's able to get a pump on this player as he so desperately needs it. He gets it. It's a one pump in the face, but no! He gets eliminated by Nightclo, and Nightclo's still in this one. He's running around like a madman. No match at hand. It's a 50-50, and unfortunately he's gonna lose that one out, and he's gonna be taken by Spooky on the height of seeds. Spooky, a solo, a 1v2 situation. Let's see exactly what will be the plays.
Yeah, he's got it all. He's on height, the players below him, as he does take out Warrior as well. And this is a 1v1 situation. They're going to keep on going. He does find the shotgun to the face as he takes out Lesix. And what a play there from Spooky.
Oh, what a play indeed. Fantastic coming out from this team. And we talked about it, how they managed to go so passive going into the end game. But 5 eliminations on Spooky Boss, 3 eliminations on CK. Spooky walking with the most eliminations. Zorro with the 100-meter elimination over there. And this match time, guys, 24 minutes for you guys. Talk about going to the very edge of the zone over here to Spooky winning a 1v2. It is unfortunate, however, that the less duo Warrior was already knocked in that instance, so it was a easy one-on-one situation, and Spooky just showed up to the party as the bigger man here, Dare.
He definitely did, right? He was on height and he was set, and he just got that kill. But again, Nightclo making it all the way to the end. So, you know, they building on that lead, and I feel like they're going to stay there for game number 3, or the beginning of game number 3.
Yeah.
But what a game we did see.
What a game indeed, guys. Talking about game number 3, we have to go into a short little break, but we'll be right back after with the spectate on that. So don't go anywhere. And again, remember to talk about it. Talk about what had happened on social media with the hashtag Mythic Royale. Leave a like and hit subscribe. We'll be back after this short break.
Rejects that comes out on top. Rejects with the 2-piece. Comes out with the victory royale.
He's gonna drop down.
Ooh.
Up and get him.
Here we go.
Boys,
Huge from Big Boy, but it does look like it's going to be Farmer 48 Cool Cat that comes out with the win.
And now we are back, guys. When we just about to jump into game number 3, we're going to talk about a little bit of a recap over here. Punisher Spooky Dalray managing to do wonders for his duo as a solo, managing to work his way through that, getting not one but multiple eliminations of 5 and the most eliminations for that game. So you can say that was a slower game number 2 than number 1.
Yeah, it was. I feel like everyone had their testing waters out game number 1 to see how everything is flowing. Out in game number 2, you see these players playing more conservative, going out to the end, but GG's to Spooky and CK then coming out and winning that with 5 eliminations, as you mentioned. And this leaderboard is really starting to spice up. It's still Nightlow at the top, but followed closely is Storm and Energy. And then just 3 points below them is Spooky and CK. They just won.
Yeah, Punisher Spooky and Light CK honestly doing the best over there for themselves. And then you also got Punisher's Warrior in 4th place. And this is just already looking so tight for everyone. We're going to have to wait and see what this means for game number 3 of the Mythic Royale, brought to you guys by MSI, Redragon, Antec, and Crucial. And let's see exactly what the battle bus is going to be looking like when these players will be jumping out of it. But again, I'm going to ask you again, any predictions this time around? Well, I mean, it's always interesting to see what you have to say, and then things are just going sideways.
Well, if I'm scrolling down and I'm going to go to the bottom of this leaderboard and I'm looking at a couple of names. And the first one that pops up is in 27th place is Neymar and Woke. Now, that team needs to make a big difference in game number 3 that we can currently see we're loading into. They need to come almost out of this with, let's say, 5 kills and a dub like not like Nightlow, but our Spooky and CK just did. They need a game like that. They need to hit back, and I've got no doubt that they will, right? They brilliant solo players, and together they established as well, man. So I feel like they're gonna come back and hit us back. I'm looking at some other names here as I just scrolling through them. Card and Davs as well, 2 very good players, but they're also right at the bottom of the leaderboard. So these 2 squads I'm definitely looking at as hitting back in game number 3.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Davs and Card here at Craggy Cliffs, guys. A contention between the 2 players, Ace and Chimp. We're gonna have to wait and see what this means. It does look for the most time being that Card and Davs have been losing this one out, because we did see Ace and Chimp go into the mid games and it would explain with little to no HP at all, because they're going up against Card and Dabs, which by all means is a really good team as well. So evenly battling it out each game, but it does look like it's been going in favor for Ace and Chimp in the Mythic Royale games that we have on our hand.
Yeah, no, it is indeed. And I'm just again looking at this leaderboard, and I'm seeing Popcool and I think it's Swish that's together, and their name is Amos Sisters, and that's so fitting for that duo team with the controller in hand. But again, they're sitting in 16th place, so they're going to look at hitting back and getting up there. And another team is Reepsy and Tem, right? You spoke about them earlier as one of your favorites maybe to win this whole thing. And they're sitting in 18th place with 34 points, and closely followed by only 1 point is Lex and Navix.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what happens, with the game 3 and 4-5. But I always call it a pivotal moment in game number 3. You know, if you have your top 3 who do well this game, then it's good. It's good, set in stone. Those guys are going to be the contestants for winning the tournament for 4 and 5. Because if you do well 3 games out of the 5, you technically can win the tournament if you somehow flop 1 game and do decent game number 5. So let's see what happens here. No commentator curse onto that top 3. I really hope they do manage to stay consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key, and if they can do that, you know, the way forward for them is going to be quite easy. As you can see, Chimp just jumping and spotting a few players there, and I don't feel like they're going to contest just yet, unless Ace just says, okay, let's try it. But they are going to. They're working their way up, and it's going to be a bull battle to the top, and who can get height. And Chimp gets blocked down, and so does Ace. So the height is definitely not in favor of them. They're going to drop down now and maybe pull out of this fight, as who's ever contesting them has definitely outbuilt them.
Yeah, definitely. It's Davs and Cards who really now managed to do this. And if you know Davs, he has that experience with him. He is also a coach and IGL, and you can just see his angles and his piece are just so much better. And now you get Card on the other angle, trying to make sure that everything is going in favor of them, and they are on the low ground set over here. They will be looking to be winning game number 3, and now this is just going to be a tough one, because Ace and Chimp have been going into the mid-game, end-game areas, but unfortunately this time around doesn't look like they will be going into game number 3. But a huge play from Ace as he manages to put Davs down into his place, into the ground. A little knock, and now it's all down to Card to do the bits and pieces. But how can he go up against such a pivotal team? He hops straight into that. He gets that elimination, and Chimp and them down to victory, even though it did look like the odds were just not in their favor.
The odds were definitely not in their favor, and it felt like Ace just bunny hopped into that building and just absolutely destroyed the player. And then Chimp does the exact same to, I think it was Davs there, or like, it was crazy from them, and coming out with the dub in that situation is now they sit on 2 kills as a team. And wow, man, what a play coming in from them. They definitely said, as Strider now gets beamed from the left-hand side, he's going to look to mini up, and his teammates there with him just to help him secure things. But they in a heavy fight as they try and maybe get an elim, and now they decide to back up, get back healed up, and maybe try again.
Yeah, hopefully try again right here. Spicy and Strider just not having their day, as they did get eliminated quite early game 2, and a huge piece coming into play, 50-50 in the box, and look who it is. It's Neymar in this position, trying to pick up those points, and so be it, they need it. They definitely do, but a good Spicy shot, and Spicy almost coming through with the 1v2 for the team. I'm screaming too much here, Dalray. I'm not gonna have a voice going into endgame, because the plays that we are seeing already on screen is crazy.
Dude, those shots on Neymar was incredible there. But again, it is his teammate Woke that comes up and backs him up and takes care of business, as I see in the leaderboard on the kill feed. Storm as well, finding another elimination. So things heating up in game number 3. Some great team play, some great shots coming in. The peanut butter is yet again helping so much as the people keep on eliminating, and we can see Ethan and it's Eva as well. I saw them on the leaderboard there. I think they're on the lower side of the leaderboard as well, so they're gonna try and hit back as well.
Yeah, they're gonna need to hit back indeed. Aviva and Ethan punishes Aviva here, guys, with Mr. Ethan himself. They're going to be making a rotation, and it does look like the loadout is in favor for Aviva as it stands right here. I don't see the opposition team also having a bad, but I mean, who knows, you know, anything's possible. A car being exploded over here, and this is just the scenes from Fast and Furious 100, guys. You're seeing it here, the trailer.
Yeah, literally pulling the trailer and getting away, and hopefully not being tagged up. But Ethan and his duo making the rotation in, but they're going to get stopped now from the front. And the question is, who is that? Do they have enough to work with? As the spaz is in his hand, and he's going to keep on working, as it's Luka Rakic that gets taken out by Crispy.
Amazing. Crispy and them potentially also jumping back into this one. They've been getting some quite eliminations over there, and that's a full team wipe from Crispy himself, managing to pick up Rakic and Buzzy. So Rakic and Buzzy now need to go back into the lobby, and this is going to be an interesting field for the team. Luka just seems to be, not on his day, not on the confidence. So let's just see what happens for the game 4 and 5 for them. Hopefully they're able to bring something back for the team.
Yeah, I feel like they will, like as mentioned, he maybe has taken a knock now from being dropped from his trio and looking for players to play with again. But, Fortnite waits for no one, and you be looking for your teammates now as we on board with Race and E-Take, as they're going to find themselves in a massive fight. They tries to jump into the guy's box, but the guy he's fighting is just not having it. He's running away. He gets tagged up himself, is E-Take, as he's now going to box in and maybe pop a big, I don't know. But Race is there to backing up, making sure no one takes his wall, and no one drops in as Storm in the kill feed yet again finds Ved.
Juicy things, as all these teams are starting to pick up the pace. And remember, I like I said, game 3 is a pivotal moment. If you don't do well this game, you may as well kiss the major prize pool of top 3 of the Mythic Royale away, because it's the odds, it's the numbers. 3 good games out of the 5, it's set in stone. But I mean, anything's possible if you win the last 2 games with like 10 kills, right? Then you really setting a story that has never been set before, and the chapters that now need to be rewritten in the history of Fortnite ZA. So we haven't seen it. We haven't seen a clap back like that, except for the 4 games where someone wins the last 2. But for the 5 games that we have on hand, it's always the teams that do so good game 1, 2, and 3 that really stay somewhat consistent towards the very last game. But dying of spawn game 4 and 5 would mean just exactly that. You are going to be getting yourself eliminated on that leaderboard as well. But we are seeing Race and E-Take take a couple damages over here. And Race is just a smither of HP, a hairline, you would say even, or just on his body. But he's able to just heal up quite a bit. And luckily for E-Take, they have some chug splashes that they can use up over there.
Yeah, good rotation. Yes, taking a bit of damage there, but rotation indeed. And you set now as Naaman Woke is trying to do the same thing, try and rotate in, making sure the only team that they see is not contesting them as they go through Holly Edges, and they're going to make their rotation without being touched. And another team here that we're on board with is Day, I think. Day and Vibes. 0 kills on their side as well. Popcool finding another one there on the kill feed. 30 teams left, 56 players, make that 29 teams as the Cov takes out Kareem.
Oh boy, man. Every tournament we get into, I'm always just looking at Kareem, his performance and so forth, and hoping that today is that day we will be seeing, something different on the team. But unfortunately, it hasn't come. It hasn't come, and it's been a very long time since Kareem has taken a win. I mean, if we look at, I think it's all the way back in July was his last major win. If we look now at Goliath Travis, he's picking up an elimination in the kill feed as well. So the Cov and them are really picking up that pace to move up the leaderboard from 8th place.
Yeah. And as you did mention, right, I haven't really spoken to Kareem about it, but my question is the motivation still there? Is the grind still there to get back to being the best in South Africa? I don't know. He's the only one that can answer that. But something has to definitely change from his side to get back there, winning ways, or being confident. I don't know if he's even confident at this stage, but he's definitely one of those players that I think needs a hit back tournament. It's been too long without him right at the top.
Yeah, definitely. And like for the most part, it is Matric. Like you mentioned, game number one, he is a Matric. And this year has been a very tough one, with the schedule on exams and so forth. We're literally happening back to back due to, some lockdowns and so forth. So, look, maybe 2022, there's a huge clapback coming in from Kareem, and he is able to find his feet again and, really set in stone a comeback and half. But Rejects is getting kills as well in the kill feed over there, and these teams are already looking to make some noise in the lobby. For game number 2, Rejects and Scar just really didn't show up to par, but we are now looking at a more of the meta team that we saw back in the days, where they killing in the mid games and so forth, and that's really where the entertainment is at with Rejects. Hopefully he's able to stay consistent and not be pushed against the wall and get himself eliminated. But you see what I'm saying? If you look at the leaderboard, if you look at the number of players remaining, it is 26 players, and we're only going into that zone number 3. So these players are very much hot in the tournament right here. Reepsy, Temperat picking up a kill for themselves. Fantastic onto Torbs, actually. So they can get a refresh of Max as well. And there is also a launch pad there. So do they go and risk it for the biscuit? Does look like another team's actually doing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we stay on Reepsy and Tem for quite a while now and see what we can do with their POV. But again, they got one elimination, and we've come accustomed to the way Reepsy IGLs, right? He's very vocal. He makes sure that everyone is on the same page, and he always is so good with those placements. And I feel like it's going to come in very handy with a teammate like Temperat. We know, we've seen him, how W key Temperat can be. But with a teammate like Reepsy, it calms him. Great call-outs are going to come from Reepsy. So I feel like if Tem just listens and they work together, this team is definitely going to go all the way.
Definitely. Let's see exactly what these scenes will be looking like if they manage to do so. But they are finding themselves in a good position for the meantime. And being that they are in the 3rd zone, they are guaranteed the 4th zone, hopefully guaranteed even the 5th zone, and then the RNGs on their side, and they can just work with that luck and make things work for themselves.
Yeah, indeed. And Crispy and Ginger on the same wavelength, right? They've got 3 eliminations, 2 better than what Reepsy and them have. But the question is also, who's making the calls in this duo? I feel like it's coming from both sides. And if it is, they might have a bit of a problem. Who's going to speak over who's trusting who at which calls? But I feel like being as good as they are, they might work it out, and they might keep on going. But a very good duo team that is.
Definitely, it is indeed. Now we're looking at, the scenes over here, guys. We still got Storm and Energy in the end game, going to the end game with 2 eliminations, Purple Spaz, and it's almost like he's gotten a Purple Spaz every single game, and landing at Stealthy means exactly that with those IO chests. I mean, it's almost a good chance that you get a blue pump or a purple level shotgun or purple spaz, and for him, his luck has been really well.
No, indeed it has. And here's the winners from game number 2, Spooky and Light CK. They've got 1 elimination thus far. The loadouts look great. The spaz is looking beautiful. They've got those chilies for rotations when it does come in. No heals that I see, white heals from their side that I see, so that might be the okay, it is CK that has those floppers to work with and those splashes, so I think they do be sitting good looking at those loadouts.
Definitely, they are sitting well over here. You got, a really decent heals for them. I mean, even potentially a launch pad as well in the pocket over there. So let's see what happens, man. Hopefully they're able to stay consistent in game number 3 and really.
Oh my lord!
Well, and if we look onto the aim assisters or the
player,
Pop Cool, then them getting an elimination onto Havix. Havix unfortunately finding himself a switch. Dead here, and Popku, no need for a pump as he runs in there blindly with his AR. and he gets that elimination and
Man.
beam onto the player.
This is exactly what I mean by aim assistance. Their name says it all. And Popcool, no shotgun needed. He just runs up, and the way Havoc's just died there was... he's definitely angry, I can tell you that much. Being absolutely beamed by Popcool there. But we can see Woke finding a kill on Zaki's. Psycho finding another kill there as well. So those kills are going down, and quite rapidly too.
Yeah, and Psycho picked up a kill onto Scarra, so Reject's definitely going to be finding himself making those rotations as a solo, quite difficult. And oh man, it's just not working. It's just not in favor of that team today. We got Jovi, 067, and 21 Vague in a good position, waiting just for that zone to finally shrink up. 3, 2, and 1, and now we get to see that zone formation. And look where at that, they managed to pick up that, and now they want to go in for the W key so they can potentially also get on to height over here. They're chopping down these players, but no, he almost didn't catch himself and went all the way down to 4 damage over there.
Yeah, he would have taken quite a lot, but they are still looking good. They're working the lower side of the map, right at the bottom basically. But look at that zone, look at all those people that still need to rotate in, and I feel like we're gonna lose almost half of the players rotating in now, as both of these players, Jovi and Vague, is so low as Jovi now gets taken down, and his teammate is the only one left there to maybe help them. He drops the player down, but how much is that gonna help, as he needs to find the Siphon, maybe just back out and try and pop another mini as he gets beamed from the right hand side, but he's still alive. How is he still staying alive? But he's now taken out there by Alex, and unfortunately that duo we'll see in game number 4 only again.
Yeah, definitely. That was really close from the team. They almost pulled through with a little bit of a comeback over there, but unfortunately Vague, he had no match to work with, so he had to find himself getting eliminated. And the aim is questionable from Havix and from Alex and Vivix over there, because they were missing quite a bit. But we're going into this 50-50 zone, guys, with 43 players. The Cove finding himself dead, and that's Deimos, and Vibes picking up that confirmation, and now Travis will be making that rotation as a solo.
Yeah, if we can jump on Travis, and we can see from his perspective how things are looking there. So his teammate did now fall, so as you mentioned, he's sitting alone, and he's going to be the only one that now has to bring this home for his team. And there's his name right in the middle. There we see the Takov, only 2 kills to his name. Travis is 1, but Travis has it all to do with 22 teams remaining.
Yeah, man, there's so much placement points that is still open to be collected by him as an individual, and hopefully he's able to do something out the bag. I mean, at least for the most time being, he has 4 floppers and 3 tug splashes, so the zone is his best friend for now.
It is, and we can see that Storm Surge warning starting to come in as Woke finds a kill there. Now kill feed, you just keep an eye on that, and you can see everyone falling left, right and center. But Travis now takes the jump pad, and he's going to make his way to the middle here, and he's going to try and get his own little layer, get on in his own box. And at this stage, Iroh, you're taking absolutely no fight, but Travis actually opens up and tries to get some tags.
So he wants those fights. He can potentially get this elimination as well in the bag. He gets a peanut butter edit, and this could potentially be a 1v2 situation. He does not care. He runs in blind with the AR. He could get the peanut butter onto the last player over there, but it's Race and it's Antec who are getting slapped over here by Travis.
That's exactly what I mean, right? The confidence is so high from Travis. We wouldn't have seen this maybe a month or 2 ago, right? Now he's here and he's gunning and he's not missing any shots. He's so confident. And we can see now Popcool yet again taking another name there. Ginger is now out of the game as he gets taken out, but Travis is still going, and Energy has found 2 players. So Energy and Storm is still going at it. We can jump to their POV because they're right at the top of the leaderboard. There we see them, 2 eliminations each, and they're still going.
They are still going indeed.
Oh!
What a comeback. Oh no, Storm! energy taken
Oh
out
my.
over here. And we can just wait to see who was that exactly. It was a Viva who managed to pick up those eliminations coming up from Punisher. CK trying to heal up in the zone. He's got a long way to go. It's ticking for 10. He's now down to 34 HP as he flies around. And he does need this game in hand because, you know, Spooky Boss did it. Spooky Boss managed to pick up a win as a solo. Now it's all the pressure onto Light CK as a solo individual to try do the most. And he's going to get some time to breathe and get in a big pot for himself. We are seeing it towards the end game over here. Steri Latte still in this one, but unfortunately going to be taken out.
So many solo players I feel like is left in this game as they keep on going. He's going to see some fights going down. Warrior, what a shot coming in there from Les as he keeps on working forward, and the names are falling in your top left hand side corner. Jeff Reepsy is now taken out by Warrior. Two players from the same organization now taking out each other from Punishers, and it is Smick right at the bottom, making sure no one comes in from the side, but he now gets taken out, and that was Crispy. So he's keep on going. 5 players left. Travis is still in this.
Travis is in this. He manages to pick up a kill onto the player. He gets a pop onto Warrior. He's a shot left. He gets that finish and that siphon, and his mats are looking good. His ammo is looking good. His HP as well. Everything is set in stone for a potential top 2. Talk about slithering his way through what was 22 teams, now down all the way to top 4, and he's still very much capable of even walking away with more eliminations. He's already picked up 4 as a solo player, but no player jumps straight into his box. He's trying to get this one. He's playing with what he has, but it's not enough as Alex Riley walks away with this one, and now it's a one-on-one situation. Who is on top? As we know, it's Alex Riley left alone in this one, but it's Stale for a second victory royale, and he walks up with 4-5 eliminations. The team is looking good. They are showing so much to the party. What a fantastic game number 3.
What a ending, and it's that same team yet again of was it Stale and Nyclo, or was it Stale and Nyclo again, from just getting the dub and advancing with the points at the top. They are playing so good, but the biggest takeaway from that is Travis mid-game going all the way to the end as a solo. And I feel like I can maybe put the same light on Neymar's there as well, as he lost Woke and then Neymar went all the way again. But Travis, man, what a play coming in from him.
Yeah, he managed to pick up 4 eliminations as a solo. So, you know, for that time being, that was so fantastic. And I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what this means for them going into game number 4. You know, there were 8 on the leaderboard before this game. And with, you know, top 3 potentially, they now go into game number 4 with a lot of confidence and a huge pop-off from Travis. We got to give a huge round of applause. But guys, before we look at that leaderboard and we come back with a little bit of statistics and so forth, we're going to be jumping into a short little break. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere else.
top. He takes it to 2 feet. Comes out with the victory royale.
He's gonna drop down.
Ooh.
Up and get him.
Here we go.
Boys,
Huge for Big Boy, but it does look like it's going to be Farmer 48 Cool Cat that comes out with the win.
Are we back?
Looks like it. Hopefully, we are back.
Are we back? I don't know if we're back, but hopefully we are back. I'm just waiting to see what's happening is on our side. Oh, we're actually into the game. There we
Yeah,
go.
so game number 4 on our hands over here, guys. The second last game that we have in the tournament. Let's see exactly what will be happening.
Yeah, let's see what happened, and welcome back if anyone has missed us. Voices has returned. From our side, our mics were unmuted, so everything was going. But Woke finds an early elimination there as he now takes out Alex, and Woke on the board already for the first elimination. And Swivix looks like he's going to play no part. He's just jumping away as Pepper7 as well, picking up a player, I think, there.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to get out of this situation, you know, having done so well. Game number 3 coming in second place for Alex as a solo. he is not happy with that one over there. And it does look like it's Neymar and Woke who is landing at the orange. And for the most time being, nobody's at Bravado Beach. So they having, a widespread of loot just all to themselves.
Well, here's the biggest talking point, Iro, is we had a little check on Twitter, and I see a lot of players saying, listen here, they're going to W key now, it's not griefing, they really need points and they're going to W key. So I wonder how things are going to look at the end of this game to see, because I know it was Rejects and Havocs that tweeted out. Both of them said, listen here, it's not the grief, we're going to maybe push a bit harder, we're going to W key a bit more and hopefully find some kills and get some points on the board. So from their side, we definitely see a more aggressive game.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see exactly what will be happening, but it doesn't look like we actually have Card and Davs landing at Craggy Cliffs, potentially trying to make a comeback of some sort in the future. So hopefully we get to see that coming into play from them, and we will see game 4 and 5 being exactly that. But a good beam and a line on the opposition of there. Interested to find out who that was, but last time around we did see the same replica sort of come into action. Dance gets a beam, but their tables turned and they got eliminated quite quickly.
Yeah, well, the loadouts aren't looking too good from Card's point of view. Yes, he has that blue shotgun to work with, but that AR is not one I would want in my hands. He has no shield as well. If he needs to pop any minis or bigs, he's got nothing to work with. But his teammate does get a nice tag on a player there, and he probably is healed up, so the fight is going to be more or less even. But in game 4, to take a fight now is very risky.
It is indeed, and we don't know exactly who the team is up against with. Hopefully they're able to get out of this one or disengage, but it does look like for the most part Card and Davs finally owning up to their skill and talent that they do have, and are taking their fighting to their own hands and into their own advantage.
Yeah, indeed, they're dropping down, trying to find another player, trying to tag up at least someone. I don't think that's the duo that would really back off, as he does spot one, does get a little 29 tick on him. So that's not too much to, maybe invest everything and drop down, but the bull battle has now commences. But it is Card that's right at the top of, I think it's Vad right at the top, and they're going to try and get some tags down again, but really no damage being dealt or taken.
Yeah, I mean, only 21 builds and 15 on Davs. It's not really how you want to be playing the off-spawn situation too aggressively, especially building like that. So good decision to really focus the player here on the low grounds, and hopefully they will be able to pick themselves up this elimination now or never, because, I mean, if you look, there could be potential third parties down here, such as Craggy Cliffs and so forth, but it does look like maybe now it happens, and as unfortunately he's gonna get pieced, and he's now boxed up in this situation, but Card is trying to release him. He's trying to get out of this one, and it's Morg manages to turn the tables around, and we talked about this earlier. And yeah, a third party, like I mentioned, a third party potentially coming into play right here. Card manages to pick up a knock onto Morg, but I don't think it's going to be enough here for the team to get out of this one alive, as things are looking very, very tough for them. It does get a huge shotgun onto the opposition. Let's see what happens. Card is not retreating regardless if there's a player out in this one. It does look like they managed to pick up Pepper, and with Morg being on 30 HP, this seems to be a free 1v2 for Card.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing good so far, as he tags up another one for 140, but that was all shield and about 40 going to the white, but he's going to try and keep on going, as there is Davs that's out, unfortunately. So Card needs to do this all out on his own, and if you can spectate that minimap, more and more players are being attracted to this side. So he definitely needs to get out. If you can see the minimap that we're currently seeing, he needs to chuck. He needs to get out.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what happens right now with, Popku and Swish here joining in on the party, trying to get in the action involved over here.
Again, look at Popcool's loadout. If we can switch to Popcool and just look at his loadout, is yet again with no shotgun. Look at double blue AR. This is what I've never seen this from any other player than Popcool. Like, his on controller, his aim assist helping so much, but a double AR. It's
man.
crazy to see.
It is crazy, but it is Popcool. He has the aim to back it up, and he is a controller player, so he is crazy when it comes down to those things. It does look like they do manage to reboot,
Look
and
at
look,
that.
he doesn't care. He does not care.
Look at
He
that.
has the AR at hand. He can simply just do what he does best and get those eliminations.
It's crazy, man. As Davs now gets taken out or caught there, and they are unfortunately out of game at number 4. But Popcool with that AR just making so much work out of it as he jumps in to his little Tesla. I don't think that's electronic, that one. And they do get now out and rotate in. But again, plays maybe not the correct play from Cotton Davs there, taking the fight, so much invested. Then one player gets tagged out, and as I'm saying that, Neymar has been quite busy at this stage, as I think he's sitting on 3 eliminations. Maybe we can switch to him and see how things are looking from his side.
Yeah, hopefully we get to see a more active W key player, but we can see here a couple of players still in the zone, still trying to be safe. We'll go over now to Neymar, and we see what it's like. So 2 eliminations, 1 to Woke, and the loadout really looking saucy. They find themselves all the way in Weeping, so they've now moved quite a bit around the map, trying to find the next targets that they will be W keying, and they so desperately need the points.
They do need those points, right? But it's not stopping them from getting eliminations. They are still confident on doing that, and they clearly are, as they're making their rotations in. But we're looking at more players here, and I'm looking at Havix, if we can, actually Reject's perfect person to jump on board with, as him and his duo is keep working forward. They've got a Scar in hand, no eliminations from their side, but they're going to run into a team right in front of them.
Yeah, we can see exactly it's just beyond this little terrain over here that is in the way between them and their next elimination, so maybe being eliminated. So now do got a little drone follow, and they are seeing that play over there, so they're gonna get tagged up quite a bit.
It's Popcool again. It's Popcool again. Look at that, man. That AR, oh my goodness, that Rejects just got absolutely beamed with a slither of health. Just gets out of that, and now it's gonna pop. He's got so much shield to work with, and his teammate Skara definitely gonna throw those splashes on him. There we go. He's gonna get about halfway to his health, and that is about it. But damn, what a beam from that player across the map.
Yeah, man, you just love to see it when such things go into play, because it's just so unreal on how a player of talent, of skill can do that. I wish we knew who it was. If it was Popcool, oh man, just talk about it. But it does look like Rejects is finding himself in a tough position over here, almost getting full piece, but he does get out of this one, and now they potentially have things set aside for themselves to win this one over here, as Skara is trying to claim as much as he can around.
Yeah, it's definitely not the duo that you want to take on, this of Rejects and Skara, but this team is giving them a go. Yes, they are down in White Hills, but that's about it. They're still looking good for after that. But it is Spray and Buzzy still going. Also 0 elims, and it's them they're taking on, actually. So, looking at the loadouts and the health, it's Buzzy and Spray that's looking better.
Definitely, Buzzy and Spray right here. It does look like he does get himself the feel to get into the tournament over here, but will they be able to work with what they have and make these rotations into the players' boxes and get these eliminations?
Yeah, well, looks like more teams are rotating in. I think there's about 3 teams here now, if I'm looking at that minimap correctly. But it is Sprite there getting tagged up, and he's almost down with all his shield. And he does now get taken out there by Skara. As you can see, Skara just jumped out and takes care of business, as it's now left to Buzzy. And if I'm Buzzy, I get out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Rejects and Ascara, surprisingly took a
my.
massive fight over here, but it's a good pump onto Buzzy, and they get this elimination and full wipe on the team right over there. But for a second or two, Buzzy did manage to keep things afloat and keep things competitive.
Indeed, competitive as they keep on going, and 2 eliminations now. And as I mentioned, we spoke about Havix, and he tweeted out he's going to play a bit more W key. If we can jump on board with Havix and see how things looking on his side, because he did say, listen here, it's not griefing, I really need to get some kills, and so he did. I don't actually see his name, but we're jumping on board with Travis for the meanwhile. But again, Havix is in that kill feed also often. The Cov and Travis actually on 0 kills for the first time.
I would rather be 0 kills. You don't want to risk anything right now. You don't want to go for a 50-50 box fight situation or even a W key. They don't need it. They really don't need it. They're in potential top 3 winning and so forth. So for the team to sort of stay in this position and stay passive, Travis and them are doing exactly the correct strat I would have gone with as well if I was competing here today in the Mythic Royale. So because they in that 5th place position, only 20-30 points behind, a good game for them would mean that they jump up the leaderboard in hopes that Nitro and them are having a tough one themselves.
Yeah, play it safe, and maybe at the end there you'll pop off again. And we did see what Travis can do in game number 3 as he played it a solo, and he took out 4 players going all the way to the end there. But again, a good call from them, maybe to play it a bit safer. Ginger and Crispy has the same thought as they now going in, but the people are trying to tag them up as much as possible. And this is another duo that needs to get to the top. They're around mid-table at this stage. As you can see them, they're just going to box up and wait and heal back up and then go from there. But look at those chili chugs, Iro. They've got a lot to work with.
Yeah, they do indeed, and they got a gold charge for the most time being. I still feel like you can have maybe a gold spaz or a lever action shotgun or a gold charge. I would always go with the others. Just personal opinion, I'm not really a good fan of it, but when charged up and hissing, and when it does shoot, holy, you're gonna be reckoned with so much damage over there. But yeah, let's see what happens here with Ginger and his duo Crispy, where they're 8th place right now. Before this game on the leaderboard, they can easily work their way up on the charts as well to continue staying in that prize pool range, as the top 8 teams will be walking away with some money today.
Yeah, this is one team that we haven't seen much of. Psycho and Glubs, now they've broken up as a trio, I'm guessing, but as a duo, they're sitting on 0 kills, but they in a good position. They've got a very good loadout to work with, but they haven't really gone to the end that we've seen of them. And if I'm looking at the leaderboard, I'm looking for their names just to see how things are going from their side, but they're definitely one of the guys that needs to pick up their game and go to the end, because they are very, very good individuals.
They are indeed. Woke and Nemov just picked up so many eliminations this game.
I see them going off.
Yeah, and they're doing so well. If you look at Warrior there, that's also a good position you want to find yourself in. They also do have 0 eliminations on their body, but they are safe and grabbing those placement points, which is really where you want to be. It does look like Swifix and Alex are back in the game, having been rebooted, obviously, since Woke has managed to, eliminate one of them off spawn. But they're back in this one for a contest for top 8. Hopefully they're able to stay consistent in this game as well. We're down to 24 teams in zone number 3 and 45 players remaining. Going into the next zone right now is going to be an interesting battle.
It is. We've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds until that zone then fully closes. But again, they sitting good, and this is Jared and smiling. I love smiling, and I think we all do. But they've got 1 elimination to it. But I saw there for a quick glimpse that Neymar's on 6 kills and Woke is on 3. So they're sitting on 9. And that is massive. Going into game number 4, we said they're going to have to pick things up, and clearly they did.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't see it being any close to, the top 8. Whatever they finish out, at least they finish out strong. They send a good message to the community and so forth. But it's just exactly that. I don't see them really bringing up 49 points into a top 8 place position, which is 77. But with this game, and just look at that right now, just like I mentioned, Ginger manages to pick up work. Maybe they go in for the full focus on that team, and you get a team wipe. So you are going to be, doubt at your own hand W key, because you're going to W key into a good team, and it's not going to be an easy fight for you.
It won't be an easy fight, and it's basically a trade-off. If you're going to W key, you're going to find some good players in front of you, and you might be taken down. But if we can switch to Neymar's POV just to see what's happening there, as Havix as well finding a kill. We can see Woke was taken out for Elam, so they're sitting on 10 already with 23 teams remaining. So they've been W king and been doing it quite well.
Your 10 kills to their name, that is so fantastic. You just love to see how they've managed to do that for themselves. He's trying to get back into here to try to get himself some refresh mats. Really good decision out from Neymar, as now he's almost capped mats and able to launch pad this one into the next zone. Gonna hog the white line, not get focused. Couple players opening peanut butter edits just to try to get a beam in, but he's not gonna get tagged up, as he now finds himself into a retail a place over here, and he's safely put himself into a building where he can also then farm up if he needs to.
Yeah, look where that zone pulls all the way to that top left hand side, and it's Stale and Nightclover again making it to the end there. And I'm calling it, I think if they go close to a top 3 yet again, they might just walk away and call it quits and take the W. But again, the consistency from this team is crazy, Iro.
Yeah, definitely. Consistency is so amazing out from the team. Hopefully we get to see them, do exactly that and place top 3. And that would be a good story for them. I'd be so happy to celebrate a Nightclaw and Stale win, seeing that, the last time we actually saw a celebration for the team was in season 5. We're now in season 8, and nothing really has happened for them. So if they're able to stay consistent for the time being and find themselves into the very end games with a lot of placement points, I'll be happy for them. It is a good W, and nobody would have called it in. And that's what we like. We like to see underdogs come into the tournament with no one expecting them to do anything, but they do the most, and already they've done so much. But look, Neymar managed to get himself a kill onto Rejects and gets that confirmation. Now Scarra needs to walk as a solo, and this is just the tough scenes we are witnessing.
Yeah, let's see if we can maybe jump to Scarra. I think what Scarra is playing on the account of, I'm not actually sure, so we can maybe see what's happening there. But again,
Woke is back.
Did he get Woke back?
Woke is back, and the story is not over. They have 11 eliminations. He goes boldly and he gets himself an eliminum, which is fantastic. But now he needs to rotate almost in the wrong direction, as they would have just farmed their way into a blocked wall. But they are out of this one and set to now make rotations into the next zone. But fantastic stuff. They also do have the first moving, so they don't need to use the launch pad just yet, and maybe use it towards that second zone over there. We look at Tem picks an Elam onto Energy Storm, however trades that one off and picks up Temperat, as well as Reepsy. So Temperat and Reepsy now out of this one and not having a fantastic day out from the two individuals over there.
Yeah, unfortunately from their side not coming together. But again, it is Neymar that's clutching up, right? He got his teammate back, and this is where you saw the ratings on Twitter. The mentality from this player is godlike. He has the best mental, I think, in South Africa, and that's why he's up there as the best in South Africa. As he keeps on going, there's no end to him. He always hits back, and clearly he is an Another player that we're now watching is Havoc. He said he's going to W key, and he's got 4 kills to his name as the rotation is going to start going in. 15 teams remaining, and it's coming down to the wire in game number 4. 1 game after this to go as he spots one in front of him, only 98. So he's got about 2 shield to work with the player that he just hit, and I feel like that was Nay. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that rotation of them was Nay.
Could potentially be, but we'll have to wait to see who the players are. The Lex trying to piece the player. He does get a huge pump, 105 damage. It's Zakis and Hershey all the way from Kenya. He does manage to pump the one player, but it's not going to be enough for the second. And now the Lex needs to get revived, but will the zone be friendly enough for them to do so? Yes, they have chug splashes and so forth for them, and they're gonna sit in zone over here, and it's ticking for 10, but it doesn't look like, you know, the Lex may potentially make it out of this one. No, he does, and the team is happy with that one. Travis and the Cuff in a tough situation, as now the Cuff has been taken down, and they can potentially get the match counts and everything from the play over here. Travis is just going to work as a solo, and he's going to wait for the Cup to fully get eliminated so that he can get the match refreshes. But now he's finding himself in a tough position, needing to play zone yet again. He uses another flopper, back at good, decent HP, finds the player smacks him in the face with the pump, and it's going to be Punisher's Ginger who does exactly that. WRG, Crispy, and Ginger looking really well this time around.
They are indeed, and Lex finds Storm as well. Gloves gets taken out, so Storm is completely out of this by Havoc. So Havoc's having a very, very good game, and Neymar is still in this. I think his duo has gone down yet again, so it's all up to Neymar as a solo to make things happen. It's 11 teams left. Gloves is now fully taken out by Nyclo, so him and his duo is still in this. And I said, if they're getting top 3 again, I think they've taken this whole thing, but we're gonna have to wait and see as Vix and as Torbsy is still going. And for them, they only got 1 elimination, and he drops down into the water. He jumps back out, and he keeps on building as now Steri finds Warrior. Warrior is now fully taken out, but Light CK finds more. Energy is actually still in this.
Yeah, Energy is still in this, grabbing as much placements to keep them consistent. But look at Stales. Stales top 7. It's 2 eliminations. They're looking very well. Latte takes out Les. Nyclo takes out Neymar. And Nyclo now sitting on 3 eliminations. But a huge story for Neymar of game number 4 as they get all the way into this position. But it now comes down to this very last moment as we have Latte and Stereo on high, Nyclo and Stale at the bottom. And it's 5 spots remaining. And we're gonna have to wait and see what this means. Ginger picks up a kill onto Havoc, Torps onto the Lex, and we do see Crispy now going into this end game as a solo. For the most time being, it is gonna be a GG's and a half.
Yeah, Crispy in the water thinking he's Chad Leclerc as he tries to swim there, but Nyclo yet again playing late rotate, but he gets taken out, and that I think was by JPG. I'm not 100% sure.
By Steri and Latte.
Yeah. Steri and Latte making it work as they come out with the W and 5 kills to their name. But look there, Iro, it is Neymar with 9 eliminations and I think about a top 10. So they definitely eating back that duo.
Yeah, you can see just how much they're doubly keen, managing to pick up the first elimination of the game as well as the most eliminations of the game. And Gloves, unfortunately, 108 meters, he picks that longest elimination. So fantastic stuff over there. 25 minutes all the way into this one, guys. That was game number 4. And now the leaderboard is looking so much more different as we did see the Cup and Travis, you know, being taken out quite early on that rotation. We're gonna have to wait and see what this means, you know, for the official final round.
first lives. It's Rejix that comes out on top. Rejix with the 2-piece comes out with the victory royale.
He's gonna drop down.
Ooh.
Up and get him.
Here we go. Huge from BitBoy, but it does look like it's going to be Farmer 48 Cool Cat that comes out with the win.
Welcome back, guys, to the final showcase of the Mythic Royale presented to you by MSI, Redragon, Antec, as well as Crucial. And talk about an insane 4 games that we had on our hands. And it's coming down to this little decider over here, Dalray. What do you have to say about this last game going into it? How do you feel the players should play?
As you just said, it is the decider, right? This is your last and final game to climb that ladder. But if we're looking at that leaderboard, Nyclo and Stale on 171 points. Now, the closest to them is in second place, 133. But there is teams that are that can't be divided by 2 points from Spooky and Secret, 133 points. It is the team of Warrior and Co. that is on 132 points, and then Storm and Energy on 131. Now, they are the only teams that are in contention to maybe take this game, but it is up to Nyclo and Stale. If they just get halfway through, I think they win this game already, sitting comfortably, about 45 points ahead of anyone else. So they're looking really good. But then, what a game in game number 4 from it was the WRG X Punishers from Ginger and Crispy, as they now find themselves in 6th place. And then obviously, let's talk about it, Neymar and his duo now leading the charts with eliminations from game 1 to game 4. What a game they just had, as they now just below the Goliath team with about 10 points.
Yeah, definitely. It is so close. Nyclo and them need to just secure 2 points for them this game. Not even that much. 1 point. They can go sleep. I mean, I don't see a team picking up 50 points this time around just to grab, to surpass, Nyclo and Stale. So they've definitely won this tournament, I can guarantee you that. But we can try and look at that second place position now, because that's where it is a very, very, very close. Spooky on 133, and then Warrior 132, and then Mark on 131, and then Ricey on 131, then WRG on 115. So, that second place is going to be scary, man.
It is going to be so scary. This leaderboard is going to look so different at the end of this game. So we have no idea what's going to happen. But again, it's all the way till 8th place is what people are going to look for, because you get money either way, 1st or 8th. Obviously a bit more when you get 1st, right? You got 4,000 for 1st place, and then if you come 8th, at least you're pocketing $200 for a quick McDonald's snack. If you want some McD's, that $200 is going to come out nicely. But again, so much money to play for, a prize pool of 10,000 Rand. And I see a few players as well falling. The biggest question I got, Iro, is the players that are not going to win anything, right? This is where the W King is going to start. People are going to start ruining each other's game, and we've seen it almost every single tournament.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it every single tournament. We did see it starting from game number 3. Game number 4 was that pivotal moment as well, where Neymar and them also just went all out trying to get as much eliminations, and Bolsey moves as well as he goes in for the endgame reboot, and he gets it off, and nobody really focuses them. In fact, maybe more so Rejects was like, no, this is a reboot, let's go and get it. And then in the end, he got eliminated quite early in the endgame over there. But now it is down to 62 players, and these guys can now set things in stone for themselves, either make it into that top 8 or make it just below top 8. Either way, it's some good stories across the line for some of these guys.
It is indeed the biggest eye that we need to keep on is obviously in first place Nightler and Stale. If they don't get taken out quite early in this game, I think the game is won. And then obviously we're looking at the rest of the leaderboard and see who can maybe rank themselves up a bit closer to get a bit more of the prize pool. But it is going to be Panda and Vetia just looting up, making sure they have a very good loadout going into this last game and finding some kills. But again, we're looking at, if we can scroll all the way down, we see which players are actually taken out. Right at the bottom, it should tell us who's taken out and who's not. So we can see there some of the players, 3 players have fallen. Spez is out and Chillenstein is also out. So, you know, it's not the big names that's out. So thank good for that. But they're going to keep on going and we'll probably see Ace and Chimp. Yeah, this is one of the team. I actually want to see where they are because, yeah, they're 11th place. So they're in 11th place with 81 points. They only need about 20 points to get top 8 and then place into cash. But again, it's going to be a difficult fight to get there.
Yeah, you know, win can mean exactly that, but like you mentioned, it's difficult, it's not easy, and the only team that really has been so consistent was Nyclo and Stale, and they're not even working off the consistency based on eliminations, rather just on points, and they've been doing so well. Let's go over to Tem and Reepsy to see what's happening over there. I did see Tembrat get tagged up quite a bit on his HP, so let's just jump on board to see what the scenes are looking like for Tem, as he is quite low there.
Yeah, there we go, on board with Reepsy and Tem. As you can see, they are being contested. I wonder who this is. Oh, Tembarat gets taken out, so it's all up to Reepsy now, as Reepsy gets tagged as well, and Reepsy is taken out in game number 5 quite early on by Extinct and Mock. And that's game for Reepsy and them. They definitely not placing top 8.
They definitely not. And now we are seeing Mac, which I believe could potentially be Lotte and Steri, with that Victory Royale winner being taken out, Lotte being taken out by Kareem. So Steri and them hopes of placing could potentially be ruined right here by the hands of Kareem.
Yeah, could be, but like we said, don't count out Kareem. He can also pop back up, and you maybe need one extremely good game to get back up there. But it is Rejects now popping those minis, popping those splashes on his teammate as well of Skara, as they did find only one elimination. I don't know if the other one is still around, but they're going to now build up. Yeah, there he is, and they're going to build up and try and find this last one, and then hopefully get it, and then keep on going to maybe place even higher than they are now.
Definitely. Let's see exactly what will be happening. But Rejects and them are looking so hot, and they get an elimination onto Kareem here at Misty Meadows, and that maybe potentially now looks like the players Lotte and Steri are fully eliminated out of the lobby. I'm not entirely sure, but that could potentially be the story.
Yeah, indeed, sir. And Chimp now gets taken out as well, so he leaves Ace all alone, and people are falling like flies, as we saw. As I said, game number 5, it becomes more W key fest, as most of the players have nothing to lose. And as you mentioned, unfortunately, Kareem was taken out there, but it is Saint, and I think that was scary. I'm not 100% sure who that was, but Saints and his teammate is going strong. No one's really pushing them so much, but they're going to need to get all those materials up as fast as possible, as Rejects finds another one. Race has been taken out, so way more kills happening, Ira.
Way more kills. It's that last game. It is a bloodbath of note that we get to witness, and for Steri and Stale, Nightlo and Stale, they look very much quiet. You know, they don't want to get involved in any of the action, and hopefully they don't get involved in any of the action, because they would miss out on the opportunity to secure their first place. But like I mentioned, it's a 50-point lead from first to second, so they just need 1 or 2 points and to secure first place today, and I think that will be the scenes we get from the team. I honestly think they will be our Mythic Royale final duo champions.
I do think so as well. They just need to get a few points, as you mentioned, and they'll be coming home with the trophy. But it is Rejects now W-keying another player in front of him. He has 1 kill to his name, and his teammate Skara has 3. So they're sitting with 4, but you know they need this as so much to keep on going. They know eliminations is important, but so is placement. So they need to make sure that they get the kills without putting them at risk of dying. As Rejects turns to the right, and that shotgun does pump for quite a lot as he keeps on going, and he's going to try and look for that player, but the player does get out and he sees them in the tree there. But it is now Skara going to be that aggressive player, pushing up, builds upon the player, and now he's going to look to maybe take him out as Zakis and Mock has now fallen.
Oh man, that is crazy over there. But now we're getting closer to the end games, and we're just seeing the heat really explode. Players getting beat from above and below, and a good pump onto Rejects, but it's not going to be enough as now Skara gets the dog onto Ethan Dog over there. So really, this has been a Skara woke gameplay, and something that we haven't really got to witness in the finals over here.
Well, this is what we expect from them, right? That the W key and not missing shots, making sure they get the kills, and they're not done, as you can see. Oh, well, this is actually Woke and Neymar, as you can see. They also want to get in on the action, and they also want some kills as they're gonna now drop in, and Woke looks determined to kill this player as quick as possible. He gets into his build, but they're quick enough to get out, and Neymar's on his side to keep on going. Neymar does get tagged for quite a bit, but not too much to maybe back out of this, but they're gonna keep on going, and this looks like some kills for Neymar and Woke, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely, and this will definitely bring them up on that leaderboard where, you know, they need the points to get that top 8 and get into the potential prize pool. And then, you know, they will be happy with that, even if it's 8th place, 7th place. At least they work their way up from 27th place, and now you see Woke manages to pick up that elimination on Havix. Havix and Delex really not in a good position. He's trying to hold these goals, but he gets in there. Woke manages to find himself, but he will get knocked as well. But it's fine. No one's around. In fact,
no, they're being contested.
There's a third party over here.
There is, and he's not going to get it off. Neymar is going to be taken almost out, 60 health remaining, and it's going to be also close. Only Neymar to work with. Neymar has to get out somehow as they're being W-keyed, and it's Rejects. It's actually Rejects. Rejects and Skara takes out Neymar, and what a duo to take out each other. They're all good friends. They're actually teammates as well, but it is Rejects and Skara now taking out Neymar, and we unfortunately saying goodbye to that trio of Neymar and Woke, as they won't be placing in top 8.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a commentator curse over there, I have to say, because I said, you know, they comfortably worked their way out from 27 to top 8, but now they get taken out and they will fall short just outside that top 8 placement. And oh, GG's, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the way the cookie crumbles. And so the cookie is quite good for Rejects and them, as they're on 7 eliminations and still going strong. And we saw Popcool's name pop up there for quite a bit, as he has been finding some kills as well. We're on board with Crispy and Ginger. Yeah, they're playing it safe. They're making sure they can get some points on the board, but goodness gracious, man. Skara and Raven, Rejects isn't stopping at all.
No, he isn't indeed. And, you know, these are the rotations we are seeing right here. And this is exactly what we love to see. For the Cup and Trappist, they still in this one as well. But 7 eliminations onto Rejects and Skara. And you just love to see the scenes come out of this team.
Yeah, man, it's such a good team. If they click and they've got the, you know, the rotation down, it's going to be looking so good for them, as Rejects beams a player there, seeming like a little ghost, as he's now going to W key and try and get more kills, and this duo is not stopping at all. And you know, if those two W key together, I don't think there's anyone that really stands a chance.
Nope, nobody that really stands a chance. When these guys really get that chemistry back together, we'll definitely see it. And we just say no one stands a chance, but then Skylo manages to pick up a knock onto Zeleny, and this is really quite tricky, but it's a one-on-one situation, as they managed to also pick up Zorro.
This is very important. Rejects needs to find the skill. If he doesn't win this fight, he's taken out, and that will be his tournament. But he's now going to rotate back, and he's going to try a different angle from going in. But he boxed in his duo partner to maybe get the rest there. He's now going to stick it, and if he gets this off and maybe gets his teammate back up, this might be a different story. As no, he gets beamed from the top, and he's not going to get the revive, and he's going to try and maybe get out now. But damn,
the finish
the tournament is on the line.
The tournament is on the line over here. He got the reboot card though. He also has a launch pad that he can work with right now. So maybe we're going to be seeing a little bit of a ballsy move out from Rejects. But no, he's on 64 HP. Anyone to look at him right now will be getting themselves a free elimination. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the scenes. He's going to be able to heal up. And he has done so successfully. And he's going to use another launch pad to get out of here. And maybe into a good position where he can then bring back Gara, and then we could see a potential replica of a Neymar or Vogue game that we did see in game number 4.
Yeah, he's going to have to replicate that to the T, right? And see what they can do. But Ace and Chimp is also on the hunt, and they quite close to where Raven is hiding out in that bush. But they getting beamed from the side as well. So it's action-packed in game number 5. There's no time to take any breaths. Everyone is busy shooting one another from the left, right, and center. And I feel at this stage, if our leaders are still alive, I think that might just be game.
That just might be game, but you know, a huge congratulations to them. They definitely do deserve that. You know, winning 2 of the games, coming second in the game number 4. So they've really been consistent, and their story isn't over unless they fully get eliminated. And we do see a finish coming onto Xylo now, who, you know, had put a little bit of a tremble into the team of Skara as well as Rejects.
Yeah, indeed. So, and yes, Spooky and CK currently in second place, still with no elimination, but they're playing it safe because they know that fight for second to about 5th is only 2 points between them. So whoever makes a mistake is the team that's going to get knocked down. But look at Swish and Popcool. They got 9 kills to their name. Swish on 7. And they still have, look at that loadout. What a loadout to have, man. No shotgun again for Popcool, but that's not surprising anymore.
Yeah, definitely not surprising at all. But Get Swish, he has, you know, a decent loadout as well. That SMG, the rapid SMG onto Popcool, is definitely gonna quake some people's boxes when he gets into it, because it's just gonna connect quite dramatically. Let's see what happens here when now Popcool gets closer to his opposition and his enemy that is in his way right here. But he's gonna get tagged up. Oh, he's gonna get tagged up all the way down to 2 blue, and now they put into the zone where they need to fight, and it's a 2-tick, and once the zone closes, it's gonna be 5-tick. So they need to get into zone right now, and I can see it's ticking so quickly away, and Swish is gonna get tagged up very dramatically, but I don't see him surviving this one. He uses a launch pad, he's flying so many bullets, he's now the Matrix dodging left and right, and no bullet is able to connect, and no, he does get sprayed. It is 200-meter AK spray onto Swish, and talk about a name to live by.
Yeah, man. Well, a name definitely to live by, but he doesn't get out. And it's all down to Popcool now with that Scar and that so OP SMG. If he can just make it work and get his way to the end, they will most likely also place in the top 8. But they need to keep on fighting. And if Popcool does die here, I think his chance might be ended. But again, it is so chaotic. People shooting him from left, right, and centers. He now only has 50 health remaining, and he gets taken out there by Spray. As Spray actually does spray him, but again, Popcool gets taken out, and that is his tournament.
That is indeed his tournament, and now we are reaching zone number 5 in 15 seconds, where now these players get closer to each other. We got Warrior, Les, we got Light, CK, Spooky, Psycho, Gloves, Crispy gets taken down by Chimp, and Chimp and Ace are making a little bit of a comeback story for game number 5. If we did see off spawn, Chimp was taken out, but no, he gets eliminated by Ginger. A bit of a story, and it took it way too soon.
Yeah, a bit too soon, but Spooky and CK still making it work. They know what's on the line, right? You don't want to maybe open up and get shot and get taken out as you are still sitting in second place. So just make sure you come to the end, make the other people make the mistakes. But listen, yeah, as we mentioned, Game 5 is always this. There's a lot of people that has stuff to lose, but there's also half of the lobby that has nothing to lose, and it's them that you need to worry about because they're the one, griefing and coming into people's box and making a big upset. And like we saw with Reepsy, a team that has nothing to lose has basically came in and gave the team an L that has a lot to lose.
Yeah, definitely. Vix and Torbs here in this position, also in a wall of 28 players now will be making the rotation and plays into the 50-50 zone, the fifth zone we have. And in 1 second we get to see where that pulls, and it is away from Ginger. And as a solo player, he now needs to make that rotation as an individual, and it's going to be tough on him. He does have some red peppers as well, has a launch pad to do so.
Yeah, it's just going to be so difficult for him to rotate as a solo. It's going to be so difficult. Does he leave it late? I would personally, because you're going to wait for the people to rotate out in front and maybe get a few beams as he does pull that shotgun up for him. He gets a little upgrade, but it's going to be difficult to see how that's going to help him as that rotation is going to come up so key for Chili's though, so it might be good.
Might be good indeed. He checks on a Smith of HP. He's managed to get into this end game position, but with what cost did it have?
No material too.
No material. Oh, he needs to pray that there's a launch pad placed over here, and there is, but unfortunately he's unable to even catch it. He's then gonna farm up over here a little bit of his own and just run with the zone because that's all he can really do. But I think this is a launch pad for him to use over here, and unfortunately he's unable to find it.
If he makes this somehow with 10 HP and nothing, he's out, and Ethan Dog takes him out, and that is it. Rejects is out of the game. Skara as well, so I don't think they make it as well. So we say goodbye to another top class duo.
Yeah, we say goodbye to them indeed. YouTuber Viva, or Punishes Viva, now in this position where, they made it all the way into the end game. So game number 5, Gloves picks up an elimination in the kill feed. They tag up some players, but it's the Cub to pick up those elims on that end over there with a beautiful confirmation as well. And now he gets into the end game with some kill points, hopefully to dampen the lead that the top leaders, the top players have on the leaderboard right now.
And there they are, right? We spoke about the leaders in Nightclone and Stale. They are the leaders, and they now in the top 12 of the team's 23 players left. And we're looking basically at your champions, Iro. This is your champions, your Mythic Royale champions, just making a show out of it all.
Yeah, definitely. Stale, Nightclone still in this one, still making a noise. Gets an elimination onto Saints ACGL 7, and that's going to be a wrap on their games as well. And a good story for them. They worked their ways quite past the underdogs and underrated players. They did extremely well for me. I'll give them a round of applause. Focus Jeff does look like he's in this position as a solo as well, and now he's going to be rotating, and we're going to be seeing if these players do the most they can right over here. And does look like the terrain is onto an incline, so players will be dropping soon as the situations get a little bit tough. And he just launch pads into Les. A little bit of a gift for Warrior and Les over there. Unfortunately, Vogue just unable to launch pad to where his destination was meant to be.
Yeah, and this is a team fighting for it, right? Warrior and Les is they are in, I think, third place, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're in third place. So they're definitely fighting for it all, and they're still alive. They got one elim to their name, and they need to keep on going. As Aviva and Energy has now fallen, Storm is still there. So Storm is also fighting for this. So everyone that's really fighting for it is still alive.
definitely. We haven't seen a Decaf and Travis kill feed for some time, but still, he just jumps straight into the box of Swivix and Alex, and then we see Decaf getting the finish onto Stale as well. I'm not entirely sure if that was the Decaf or Swivix. We'll have to wait and see. But Ikasi, Nightlo, a solo, very much happy. He can take this one on the chin. He's won the game. But look at Glubs and Psycho here. They're doing so much. Ved manages to pick up an elimination onto Warrior. And Glubs is just trying to full piece this player. But this player manages to run and keep running. And he's getting the distance between Glubs and Psycho. And now they need to rotate here at the very last moment. He's going to get some cover to try and heal up. Only two builds only a couple hundred max also to Psycho, and he's just farming his way through what seems to be a mountain of builds in his way.
Yeah, indeed so. But CK as well, still finding kills. That was they were that second place team, so they're still going strong with 7 teams remaining. But Travis takes out CK. Maybe we can get on Travis's POV to see what's happening there, because that is a very, very good team, and they work their way up. And it is again Travis all alone. He's done it in game number 3. Are we going to see him do it again in game number 5?
I mean, he's all the way in zone, using those floppers, using everything that he can. He now goes and uses that launch pad. He needs to get himself into the zone safely, and he will find himself among 5 other duos playing this one. He still has a decent amount of wood to work with, and he has one more flopper of HP to get him there. And it does look like he's just trying to find himself, going all the way down, and so is Panda and Ved as well. Just Travis working on the lowest parts of the game and end game that we have right now, trying to chop down a couple players that he can potentially find for himself. But he only has 4 builds left, so this is a tough one for him.
It is so tough. 4 builds, no white health remaining, and to work with as Ved and Panda is still right at the top, making sure they can get the most out of this. They don't have really any elimination. Oh, Ved has 2 eliminations to his name as they find another player in front of them. We have no idea who that is, but it is Travis that now falls down, but Psycho finds a kill, and Psycho and Glubs are still there, and this is a 2 versus 1. Ved gets taken out, and Glubs takes game number 5 to get a victory royale. But is that enough to get them into top 8 is the question, Iro.
Man, what a fantastic Mythic Royale that we did have on our hands. Well done to these individuals. You know, Glubs managing to get the last game is going to be amazing over there. And here is the most eliminations going to Switch, Ite fastest elimination, and then longest going to Vex. So that is going to be the wrap on the game number 5s, and we don't know what the final leaderboard is going to be, but we can almost potentially say that Nightlo Stale may potentially just win this one. It is not clear enough whether they managed to just walk away with this one, but good news, Delray, is that they can go over to the African Gaming Cyber League social media on Twitter, and then they can find out exactly once that post is made who will be walking away. But we have to thank the admin and the production team on such a fantastic tournament here, Dalray.
Yeah, we do indeed. ACGL always brings the party, and clearly we've seen in 5 games it was so heated and so busy, and all of this is possible by the sponsors of MSI, Redragon, Antec, and Crucial, and for them we say thank you very much. But at the end of the day, Nightlo and Stale, they definitely, I don't see anyone catching them. I can call it, they the champions, man. They the Mythic Royale champions. And who's to follow? We have no clue. I'm refreshing my page to see what's happening, but it looks like at this stage, Spooky and CK in second, and then Storm and Energy in third, with maybe Glubs sneaking into fourth. I have no idea. All I know, it is so busy, but you need to keep your eye on social media from ACGL to see what is going to be those final standings.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Dalray. And again, to the viewers at home watching, thank you again. Remember to talk about this on social media using hashtag Mythic Royale and making sure to follow up on the post of the winnings. But it is a wrap, and it's a huge GG, and we'll be seeing you guys in the next Mythic Royale.